Welcome to this topic 9 of the ACCA AFM exam, valuing debt. Well, if you're valuing debt, why not just to take the statement of financial position and to find the debt section and to take the figures from there? Yes, you're right, but that's only for the non-traded debt, which means the bank loan. However, if you're asked about any traded debt, so for example, if you can see the debenture or the corporate bond and even the convertible bond, watch out. You will need to insert, firstly, the number of years, secondly, the cash flows, thirdly, the discount factor at the pre-tax interests, and finally, the present value. And you will sum all this present value to be the market value of the debt. You will need 4 columns. Okay. Now, the best way, look at Jimmy business. Now, we need to estimate the market value of each loan note because it's not the bank loan. We cannot take it from the statement of financial position. And this is why we'll need to use 4 columns approach to do that. Now we're told that Jimmy issue, now issue means borrow money. It borrows using loan note with a nominal value of $100 each. So which means that if Jimmy sells 1 loan note to me, I will need to pay Jimmy $100, okay? And Jimmy will pay me 2% per year based on 100, which means per year I will get $2. Now, I'm standing from my perspective, which means from the investor or the buyer's perspective, which means the lender's perspective. And this is why later on, when we discount these cash flows, we cannot use the after-tax discount rate. We can only use the pre-tax discount rate to reflect the fact that this is not the interest expense to me, this is the interest income. We cannot use it to save tax. The loan note will be redeemed in 3 years' time at 5% premium to the nominal value. So which means that Jimmy will pay me back 100 plus 5%, which means 105 at the end of the 3rd year. And these will be the cash flows. Alright, so let me slot them in. The first column, number of years. Second column, the cash flows. Third column, discount factor at a particular discount rate, pre-tax. And finally, we've got the present value. And we are told this will be the 3 years loan note. And the cash flows, we're told 2%, which means $2 per year. So 2, 2, and 2. But in the final year, I will also get the money back worth of 105. Okay, that's it. However, in this exam, you are very likely to be given the yield curve to determine the discount rate. Very straightforward. You simply take the risk-free rate from the government and to plot the basis point, which means the credit risk premium, to reflect the fact that a business borrows money, but given its own specific risk, that the bank will charge a higher interest rate. And that's reflected in the form of premium. So for example, if you borrow for only 1 year, not only you will need to pay 3.3% to the bank, but also you will pay another 29. So what do I mean by 29? I always say to my student, firstly, put not point in front of it and put the percentage next to that. So simply be discount factor, which means equals to 1 over 1 plus 3.3% plus 0.29%. Remember, and this is for the power of 1. Okay, close the bracket. Now, year 2, we take 4.1%, so equals to 1 over 1 plus 4.2% plus 0.42% for the power of 2. Number 3, not 4.5%, so 1 over 1 plus 4.5% plus 0.51% for the power of 3. So the present value equals to cash flows times by the discount factor, drag it here. And therefore, the value of each loan note will simply be to sum all of the above, and that becomes $96. And this is the answer that we are looking for. And in the requirement, it also says that it's the X interest, which means that if you lend money to Jimmy right now, paying $96 as the market value, you cannot get the last year's interest from Jimmy, and that's it, no more than that. So X interest, which means that we start from 0. If you buy it now, you will get the next year interest. We are not getting a last year interest, and that's all we need to know.
APC, accounting for your future.